morning and welcome. This is the newspaper review coming to you from Carnival Radio. My name is Joseph Oyikola. And here are the headlines. Kano government reinstate Gaya Hemia names 2 others for Karaye and Rano. Federal government panel report reveals reasons for Plateau school collapse. Minimum wage. Labour threatens 30-day strike, alleged plan to decentralize stocks. Outrage in University of Ibadan over introduction of 10-hour electricity supply. A court upholds ex-governor, deputy governor's impeachment. Now the news in full. Governor Haba Yusuf of Kano State has approved the appointment of 3 second-class emirs of Rano, Gaya, and Karaye with immediate effect. According to a statement issued by the governor's spokesperson, Sanusi Tofa, a copy of which was made available to newsmen on Wednesday. The new emirates are to serve as second with Kano as first-class emirate. Yusuf named the newly appointed Alhaji Mohammed Karaye as the Emir of Karaye. He was the district head of Rogo before his latest appointment. Alhaji Mohammed Huma was named the Emir of Rano. He was the district head of Bunkere before the latest appointment. The governor also named Alhaji Aliyu Abubakar Gaya as the Emir of Gaya. He was the Emir of the defunct Gaya Emirate, who was dethroned among others recently. Yusuf had on Tuesday signed into law 3 second-class emirates in the state, with Rano covering only Rano, Kabiya, Bukere local government areas. Gaya covers only Gaya, Ajingi, and Abizu local government areas, while Karaye covers only Karaye and Rogo local government areas. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Kano government reinstates Gaya Emir, names 2 others for Karaye and Rano. In the meantime, the investigative panel set up by the federal government on the collapsed 2-story school buildings in Jos, Plateau State, has released a preliminary report on the sad incident. The 2-story building housing Saint Academy, located at the Busa Abuji community in the Jos North local government area of the state, collapsed on Friday at about 8:30 a.m., claimed 22 persons, and left about 154 trapped persons who were evacuated to various hospitals. Addressing to journalists in Jos on Tuesday, the Director General of the Nigerian Building and Road Research Institute, Professor Samson Duna, said the report of the panel, headed by Professor O.F. Job of the Building Department at the University of Jos, revealed that the physical observation of the building looked distressed while weak materials were used for the building. He said the report also depicted that the quality of the concrete used to construct the 2-story building was in doubt, as there was no boundary between the concrete and the steel reinforcement. The report also said the slab reinforcement and courage provided for the structure was inadequate. Also, the Professor do not enjoy the government and other professional bodies in the construction industry to insist on integrity tests on all distressed buildings, especially those around the collapsed building site. He said the country had continued to experience building collapse because there had been no regular inspection and penalties for non-compliance. He said from the available records on building collapse incidents across the country, no one had been sanctioned for negligence. The Director General of NBRRI suggested collaboration among stakeholders, including government agencies, professionals, and public to share knowledge and global best practices. The Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, on Tuesday, however, advised the Plateau State government to ensure that the laws governing town planning were reinforced to foster a recurrence of the tragic incident. Akpabio, during a courtesy call on him by the Plateau State Governor, Caleb, who was accompanied by some traditional rulers, commiserated with the delegation and called for stricter enforcement in town planning. Governor Caleb said he and his entourage were at the National Assembly to participate in the public hearing on the Nigerian Institute of Mining and Geosciences. The bill is expected to upgrade the Mining and Geoscience Institute to a full-fledged university, and the governor expressed the hope that the state will be the host of the institution. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Federal government panel report reveals reasons for Plateau school collapse. In the meantime, the Nigerian Labour Congress on Tuesday threatened to shut down the country for a month in protest against plans by the National Assembly to deregulate the national minimum wage. The NLC threat came as the nation awaits a new national minimum wage following a month of negotiations between organized labor, the federal government, and the organized private sector. The NLC president, Joe Ajaero, declared the position of the union while speaking on the sidelines of the 67th Nigerian Employers Consultative Association annual general meeting in Lagos. Ajaero said, "As we are here, a joint committee of the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Judiciary are meeting. They have decided to remove Section 34 from the exclusive legislative list to the concurrent list so that the state governors can determine what to pay you and so that there will be no minimum wage again. You cannot decide what you should earn." The NLC president further stated that we don't have a situation where people determine their wages that amount to some level of illegality. In the Constitution, there is no provision for equal work for equal pay. If you go into job analysis and job evaluation, we may discover that a clerk here may be doing the same work as the clerk in Sokoto. The labor leader maintained that every country has their minimum wage, and some states are paying higher than the basic minimum wage, and that is the position of the law anyway. However, he said some people instigated by the governors were saying they will not be able to pay 60,000 even when their members were in the meeting with labor, then this was being done unfair. For more details, please visit Punch newspaper. Minimum wage. Labor threatens 30-day strike, alleges plan to decentralize stocks. In another news, protest is currently ongoing among students of the University of Ibadan, Oyo State, over introduction of a 10-hour daily electricity supply within the campus. It was gathered that the institution introduced a 10-hour daily electricity supply with the effect from yesterday, Tuesday. The new policy was contained in a memo issued by the Department of Works and Maintenance of the institution. The memo, dated 16th July 2024, was signed by the Director of Works, Engineer O.A. Adetolo. However, the newsman gathered that there is currently outrage within the campus. A student who asked not to be named told newsmen that students have started protesting since yesterday night, Tuesday. He added that the protests continued till this morning. The student said there was a protest yesterday night that lasted till about 2 a.m. today. The University of Ibadan introduced in notice that it will start rationing a 10-hour electricity distribution on campus. For more details, please visit The Nation newspaper outrage in University of Ibadan over introduction of 10-hour electricity supply. In another development, an appeal court sitting in Ibadan yesterday dismissed the appeal filed by the former Oyo State Deputy Governor, Engineer Rauf Olaniyan, against his wrongful impeachment on July 18, 2022 over allegations of gross misconduct and financial impropriety. A 7-man panel led by Justice Christopher Kayode found Olaniyan guilty of the allegations, and the Oyo State House of Assembly ratified his removal. Olaniyan, through his lawyer, Chief of Labi Fasanu San, filed a suit before Justice Bayo Taiwo of an Oyo State High Court, asking the court to nullify the impeachment. He argued that constitution of the panel by the then Chief Judge, Justice Munta Abimbola, was improper and unconstitutional. Now the House of Assembly failed to adhere to the constitutional provision of 2/3 majority of the members signing the impeachment notice. But the lower court on September 1, 2022 declared the impeachment constitutional and in order. Olaniyan thereafter filed an appeal marked CAIB, asking it to upturn the decision of the High Court and declare his impeachment illegal and unconstitutional. Chief Afolabi Fasanu San, Kazim Gbadamosi San, and Adebola Ojo San represented him. Their judgment, read by Justice Gabriel Kolawole, which was adopted by Justice Yagata Nimpa and B.F. Suberu, and 3-man panel of judges agreed with the decision of the trial court that the procedure for the removal of Mr. Olaniyan as former Deputy Governor of Oyo State is primarily the internal affairs of the Oyo State House of Assembly. The House of Assembly and its clerk had argued that it is trial law that the court is not to be subjected to the indignity of the election or striking down of any of its parts. We pray your lordship to reject the present invitation to introduce a dichotomy between voice votes and other system of voting into the force respondent rules of procedure, and by implication of the grand norm that is the 1999 Constitution as amended. For more details, please visit Vanguard newspaper. A court uphold ex-Oyo Deputy Governor's impeachment. To end newspaper review this morning, here is a recap of headlines. Carnival government reinstates Gaya Emir, names 2 others for Karai and Rano. Federal government panel report reveals reasons for Plateau school collapse. Minimum wage, Labour threatens 30-day strike, alleged plan to decentralize talks. Outrage in UI over introduction of 10-hour electricity supply. A court upholds Oyo's Deputy Governor's impeachment. And with that, we have come to the end of newspaper review. Thank you for joining us. My name remains Joseph Hoikola. Good morning.